How's it going, y'all? Back with another one. This week's episode, we'll continue from where we left off in the last Draw with Rod. This page, you finally get introduced to Hathor, the Cattle Maiden, another Eye of Ra, who, in this instance, is an acolyte of the Blood of Fruit, of which Celeste was a former apprentice to as well, but is now an apostate. An apostate essentially is someone who's abandoned a religion or a certain sect of believers. So Celeste, in her youth, abandoned the cult that worshipped the Blood of Fruit as one of their own. I knew I wanted Hathor to be different than her sister Sekhmet, and when I introduced her, where Sekhmet was more of a zealot, ruthless, take questions never, fight always, till the very end. Hathor is more methodical in her approach, and she has those overzealous moments as well, but she's also sick in the head. She wants to get under your skin, wean out those moments, make it last a little longer, and just overall make who's ever there just ever so slightly more uncomfortable than they were when they approached. It also doesn't hurt that she has an army of minotaurs behind her that she can call on anytime, even though she's powerful in her own right. She uses them to do her dirty work from now and then. But in this chapter, later on, you'll see just what she can do, having adopted the Blood of Fruit as her new patron saint, as opposed to Ra, who she initially served. I don't know what kind of dynamic I wanted initially between her and Celeste. Sort of like my initial thought was when Goku and Vegeta first met for the first time, instantly antagonistic rivals, but this is what happens in my head as I was lettering the page. It was more on the nose undertones. Essentially, Hathor is more of a, I don't want to say unhinged, but that's the word that's coming to my mind right now, but also just a freak overall. And on this page, Celeste calls her out on it, like, you're moving mad, weird, low-key uncomfortable. But essentially that's how Hathor is, especially since on this page she reveals that she knows of Celeste through the Blood of Fruit. She's heard all these stories and tales of her strength, and finally being able to put a name to the face, she couldn't help but contain herself. And within the cult, Celeste was pretty infamous, not only for her deeds, but her strength as well. What she could do, her brother, and her late sister, as opposed to everybody else. She was natural born blooded, the fangs, the red eyes, everything. Whereas fledglings like Hathor, they have to use hemophage, like a vampire centipede, in order to communicate with the Blood of Fruit from distances and essentially stomach blood, because it's not something you just naturally ingest in your diet. It's something you have to go through a metamorphosis in order to pull from it. Hathor was already a goddess in her own right, but when approached by the blood of fruit, as did her other kin, she couldn't help but think of the power that she would gain if she obeyed this new master of hers. So she plays a part, steal Liam, one of Ra's eyes, despite serving a new true master, that is the blood of fruit. She believes that she will ascend to further godhood beyond where she was in the Neteru, but above even that of her father. Sekhmet and some of the other eyes were approached as well, and they did take the bargain, save for Bast, who wanted no parts of it. But that's for another chapter when she finally gets her time to shine. As for the others, the offer was too great. They couldn't help themselves. Hathor wanted power, knowledge, and to overall be worshipped for eternity. And then she fell in love with this new master. The power they exuded, and their overall depth. Sekhmet just wanted war, as was her namesake. Blood for blood, it did not matter. One master or the other, as long as she got her way, it did not affect her whatsoever. And in the end, it would be her downfall, as in the beginning of this chapter, in her conflict with Artemis. In the coming pages, not only you'll be able to see just what Hathor can do, but what a hemiphage can manifest, and essentially the power that made Celeste so feared and why she had to leave home and abandon the cult entirely. That's enough teaser for now. I'm also thinking of doing some tutorials for how I do things, specifically in Procreate and Clip Studio, just for those out there who have been asking me, like, how do you do this? How do I do that? So stay tuned for that. But that's going to be the end of this one. And as always, stay rotten. Peace.